Caucus and the things that we've done and trying to reach out and make sure that we're connecting community to a lot of the great things that the caucus is about and those who we support and represent. As you all know, this is an amazing opportunity for this state and for the legislature today to have an opportunity to say thank you to Michael Cooper because he is someone who grew up in California, he grew up in Pasadena, let's be specific, he grew up in Pasadena. We grew up in the same community, the same neighborhood. Coop went to Pasadena High School. I went to Pasadena High School. If you think about that era, this is during the desegregation era and where busing was becoming sort of the way of bringing communities together. And it was during that era that we were in school in the Unified School District. So if they didn't have that, we probably would have both ended up at John Muir. I know, they're crosstown rivals. But the fact that we both went to the same high school, Pasadena High School, had an amazing coach who taught the fundamentals of basketball and taught not only how to play defense, but how to be good people, how to interact with one another as a team and how to work collectively as a team. And you can see how that worked very well for Michael Cooper. You know, I tell the story because he was 4 years ahead of me. And so when I entered Pasadena High School, he was graduating from Pasadena High School. And then he went to University of New Mexico, and I went to San Diego State, both in the same conference. But of course, by the time I got to San Diego State, he was leaving, drafted to head to the Lakers. It's a sad state of affairs, but that was the last time I ever followed Michael Cooper. He ended up in the pros, and I was able to watch him on television and admire his tenacity and to see how he played the game. He played it with heart, he played it with intensity, and when you think of the fact that, you can't think of it now, but you couldn't even think of it then, that you could have a player make it to the NBA Hall of Fame being a defensive specialist. Well, think about that. You know, when you have the greats in the game say that the toughest defender against them, whether it was Larry Bird or Michael Jordan or whoever it might be of that era, they knew they were in a tough battle when Michael Cooper walked onto the floor. And he was telling me something very interesting about Larry Bird and how Larry Bird looked at him differently because he played the game right. He was a clean player. He just used his skills to stop him. He didn't use elbows. He wasn't holding jerseys. He wasn't pulling arms down. He was playing it like the game was. He didn't play it like a Detroit Piston, let's put it that way. And so when you have that kind of impact, and people see that you are taking the game in a way of seriousness and respect, then you understand why he is where he is today. He's a good man. He's always come back to the community. He started a basketball camp so that many of us could learn from him what he learned through the process. And so we're very grateful for the fact that he and his wife, Yvonne, were able to come up today and to be part of this opportunity to share him with the rest of the state and with the governor who had a chance to meet, and now with our Secretary of State. And so if I could, I'd like to have Secretary of State come up and just some welcoming remarks, and Senator Bradford, and then you can bring up Coop.
Well, first of all, thank you so very much for coming out, and welcome to part of the Secretary of State's building. So we're happy always to be able to host anything that is important and productive for our communities. And so as long as I'm Secretary of State, you guys know you have a home. Want to thank Mr. Cooper for being here. You know, it's amazing to have a legend in our presence, one who's still committed and working hard. I often, as I was listening to Chris, I was like, he was talking basketball jargon, like you understand what he said. You know, that, oh my God, he's a defensive player, and I'm like, what the heck is that, okay? You know, and so will probably cringe when they see him coming. I'm like, why? You know, but anyway, I take your word for it, Chris, that he's good, because he's tall. And so we know that all works together for the good. But as Secretary of State, I'm just honored that you're in our building. We're honored to have you here today. And as I looked around, Chris was like, why isn't he on the wall? And it's not my responsibility, but I'm gonna work on that. And make sure that California knows it has an additional person who's a person of honor that should be on our wall. But once again, thank you so very much for coming. Thanks for all of you who've come thus far. I know there's others still struggling to get out of the building over here. I hope you get a chance to see our kids. The Jack and Jill kids are upstairs and they on their agendas to come down and see you. So hopefully you can take some pictures with the young people who are here in the archives right now working hard. But once again, welcome. Thank you so very much. Hopefully we get the chance to see you more often. And thanks for coming. And I know it was a great experience across the street to have you on the floor. At this time, I give you Mr. Bradford, and Chris and Bradford put this together. I really thank them for thinking about it and including the caucus and including my office in it. So, Mr. Bradford, the dropout in my class, is, I'll tell you that before he tells you. But a great legislator and who's ending his legislative career in terms of the people across the street this year. Thank you, Bradford, for the work you've done. You've done an excellent job. You've been a great colleague, and it's always easy to get you to join me on some of the crazy things I was doing. But thank you so very much.
Thank you, Madam Secretary, and also just want to echo what Chris has said about being able to honor a great individual, not just a great athlete, but a great individual in the person of Michael Cooper. And just want to thank all of you as Vice Chair of the Legislative Black Caucus. When Chris said he wanted to honor Michael Cooper, I was in automatically. It was a no-brainer for me to say yes to that and have the caucus be a part of it because, again, he's California's own. He's from Pasadena. It would have been better if he was from Gardena, but, you know, it's a dean, you know what I'm saying? But I say it's three deans, Pasadena, Altadena, and Gardena. But he's from Pasadena, and his record speaks for itself, but it's the work that he has done after his career that really epitomizes who he is as a person. And I've been around many athletes. I've been around many elected officials, people of prominence. You can see he's having genuine conversations with everybody in this room, everybody that he touched today. This morning when I was in the airport, he was engaging folks. You know, I walked up to him and he was very receptive. I mean, this is who he is. And for those who live in LA and able to watch ABC and watch he and Norm do the after-game analysis, I mean, he makes it very plain. And I only wish this day would be better if my mother was here, because she's the biggest Laker fan and she loved you, she still loves you, and when I'm gonna tell her tonight that you were here, she's gonna be mad why I didn't invite her out. But the point is that you've had a tremendous impact, again, not only on the court, but after the court, and it's an honor to recognize you. This resolution is just a small example of how we as a state is saying thank you to all that you've done and all that you will continue to do. So on behalf of the state of California, on behalf of the Black Caucus, we say thank you and welcome. Michael Cooper, Koopaloo.
Thank you, Mr. Bradford, Mr. Holden, Madam Secretary. I'm going to keep mine real short because I think I got a chance to talk to everybody here, but I am so honored and humbled by this. You know, of all the accolades that people talk about, the one thing they don't talk about, and Chris, no knock on you, I won in 1987, I won the Walter J. Kennedy Citizenship Award. And I won that with Roy Sparrow, he played for the New York Knicks. That award is about what you do in your community. And that's the one that gets overlooked of all the things, but that's the one I'm the most proudest of, because it's about using this game and this talent that God gave us to play this game of basketball, but it's about giving back to the game and giving back to our young people. So I continue to do that. I do basketball camps around. I go out and speak. I'm loving to see the young kids if they get a chance to come down. But just being up here in the state of California, the capital, I just, again, am overwhelmed. And from a young kid, skinny kid, everybody said I couldn't play this game, to where I'm standing at the door of the Hall of Fame, and that door to open up for me is just unbelievable. And they moved it back a little bit this year from August to October, and it's October 12th and 13th, and I just don't know how I'm gonna act. We're going in, but it's gonna be a wonderful event. My lovely wife, Yvonne, here, has been a big supporter. My kids will be there. And in heart and spirit, I know each and every one of you will be there. So thank you again for having me up there. Thank you. Does anybody like to come up and talk? Anybody?
I'd like to say a few words.
Yeah, no. Say some words. Let me say this from you.
Sure.
From Calexico,
My name is Robert Martinez.
the border.
I'm a lifelong Laker fan. Michael Cooper was the epitome of a great teammate. That without someone like a Michael Cooper, you don't win any championships. Thank you.
Oh, sorry about that.
Continue to circulate, continue to have fun, and we'll welcome others as they come there. Thank you for being here.
But I need to relieve Heather.
Right here.
We can do it right here, yeah. This one's another camera, but here, I'll get this on you right here. It's okay if I flip this to you real quick. It's just the mic right there, perfect. And just